Hello, everyone. This is Nicole. I am the social media specialist for UpStack, and I'm super excited to welcome Daniel Prindii, our head of community, and he's leading a session today all about how leaders in especially engineering and software development can lead with empathy and vulnerability. These are two aspects of inner qualities that strong leaders we believe should have, and it takes a while to cultivate empathy and vulnerability to make sure that you're connecting with your team not only on a work level but also at an emotionally empathetic and vulnerable level. So that's why we thought this topic was very important today, and we're super excited to get into it. So thank you, Daniel,
Thank
so
you
much
for
for being
having
here
me.
today. I'm really
So let's
excited to
go
watch what you
straight
have.
with key and connectivity in leadership. So what is empathy? Seems
Mhm.
like it's something everyone knows it, but it's a bit hard to put in practice, let's say. So the empathy is the ability to understand and be sensitive to others' personal feelings and emotions. So we have empathy, let's say, three types or levels. We have the cognitive level, how you are responding to um, a person emotion, somatic. This is a physical response to others, to their feelings and experiences. Yeah, in a remote setting, it can be tricky to have this kind of response, but nonetheless, is there. And of course, affective is how to respond to a person emotion. So even in a remote setting, you can respond. You can understand the other person in front of you in a meeting, in a one-on-one, and you can have a response that is let's say matched and expected of you, and in the end, human. Going more in depth about this, how you can be an empathic leader. And we have a few, let's say, guidelines that can help everyone to be better, even if you are a manager or a leader in a group or just a person in a team. This is, let's say, not it's not an attribute only for leaders or for managers. It's for everyone in the end, because the idea of a team is that you're working together to a common goal. So everyone needs to understand everyone and have an appropriate response, even emotional or professional one. So the first one, I'm thinking the most important is to be authentic. To discover what is matters for you, what are your values, and make them known so the others can have a common ground with you and know what you like or you don't like. The other one is to be vulnerable. Share your ideas and your feelings with the team. This way, you can create trust in your team and your colleagues, and they are more open to share their opinions or disagreements with you. In the end, a good discussion will end to a good result. Another one is to be present. Focus on the now. Focus on the meeting at hand, like I'm doing now. My phone is on silent. I'm not checking other applications. Be mindful. Be understanding with the other person, and be there to offer support or help or just a sounding board. Let's say. And we have three more. One that I like, and we can connect it with the other presentation we had about onboarding. Is listen, listen, listen. Active listening. Ask why. Ask how. Don't jump to assumptions. Don't think that if you know something or if you're working on a project or in an industry, you know everything. Even people outside, let's say the professional line, can offer you interesting or out of the box solution or thought. Another thing that is important is to acknowledge the others, congratulate the win, support them, and guide them. This doesn't mean that a leader or a manager needs to take a step back and let everyone do everything, or to start doing micromanagement and keeping track of everything. You have to find that balance between leaving the space to grow, to experiment, to fail in the end, and offering support and knowledge and tools for the team to move forward. And in the end, understanding the context. Understand the context of your team, like I was saying earlier about nonverbal communication. Understand the business climate and the company. You need to understand how different changes in the industry or the economy can affect you as a leader, can affect your company, and in the end can affect the team in your project. So, on short, these, let's say, are the most important points for a leader to keep in mind. It's not something that you need to check every day. It's something that you accumulate over time by doing mistakes, learning from the mistakes, and trying to be better. And this can be, let's say, a work in progress for you, for your team, and in different situations. You don't have to be a manager to be a leader in the end. You can be a leader in your field, technologically, professionally, but you can be a leader by being there for other people. I'm going to leave you with this quote from Bill George from his book from 2007, True North. So, the hardest person you'll ever have to lead is yourself. You need to understand yourself, to understand what you hate, what you don't like, what you like. How would you like to work in a setup, even if it's an office or remote, and try to do better and try to offer the same opportunities for others, and finding that balance between professional and personal in a way that can help you move forward.
Awesome.
Question.
Yes, thank you so much. I definitely had some questions. I think one of the first things that comes to mind is, especially like in leadership, it is so strongly connected that when people think of being a strong leader, they associate that with like lack of emotions or trying to show strength through not showing any vulnerable or emotions that they think are too personal. So, and that could also be very difficult for people. Like you presented it very nicely in this presentation, but I think it's very like can be scary or difficult for people. So for those types of people who want to work on the vulnerability, but have a little bit of difficulty, do you have any maybe like suggested first step that they could start doing that's not as scary or intimidating, or that's like an easy way for them to
you're right.
show that to their team?
Most of us, most of the leaders in our current times, they're looking at some kind of models that leaders are tough and they're hustle and they get the task done and everything, and they look at numbers. Having this approach can in the end affect you and damage your business because you don't get that layer of personal connection and you don't have that space to try things out, to say things out, to engage in a discussions with the team. So the first advice for someone that is trying to be a better leader is to take a step back, to have a good discussion with himself, to understand what he's liking or not, and how try to look in other experiences what did good go good and what didn't go good, and try to replicate that. It's not an easy way. You have to be honest with yourself to get that introspection going. Maybe other people will find it helpful to have some kind of coaching or therapy. I know it sounds hard
Yep.
therapy, but you need to have someone that can guide you to discover your inner self and emotions and how you react to those emotions in a work environment.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. I'm a big fan. Great. And then along with that, have you ever like found different strategies in your own career journey so far that has helped you emotionally connect better with your team or like a direct report that was like maybe a type of meeting structure or routine, something
Yeah,
routine that you did every week with them or anything
um,
like that?
I can say that I have a magic situation. I'm let's say piggybacking my experience as a UX researcher, and I'm trying to get data. So I'm analyzing how meetings were done in the past with the, let's say, in a one-on-one setup, and trying to find that moment, that click, that discussion, that boost the conversation, and trying to replicate. Um, I'm thinking this is something that needs to be done base to base. You don't have a template that you can apply. But for someone that is starting to be a manager or a leader, uh, I'm thinking a good structure of a meeting can help you cover those moments that you need to ask in a meeting for about the project, about the blockers, about the pain points, and trying to keep an open mind, not getting frustrated because the other person is saying, I was trying to do that and it didn't work. And you know that it's a easy task because we are different people, we're coming from cultures and backgrounds, and we don't have the same knowledge or the same way of thinking, so we can get directly to that solution.
Okay, awesome. And I love that, first of all, like the background of having like a research background. You're like, it's all for almost any different leadership approach, it all focuses on trial and error. So I definitely agree that that's like the best way. Then one of my last few questions is, I know in like some other previous sessions, some UpStack members have said that a lot of times, or Maya had said in her cultural inclusion session, that a lot of the times you
Mm-hmm.
need to make sure that where you're working is quote unquote a safe space for people to express themselves. And so you're making sure that you're always acting in your team's best interest. So, in your opinion, what are some examples of how to create a safe space to be vulnerable, but when your team is all remote? So it's difficult to create like a physical safe space. So how would you say like a leader can create that environment where everyone feels free to show their vulnerable side, to being able to express their emotions, and it's not like it's not like the white, sterile office environment. It's all remote. So how, like, it might be more
Yeah,
difficult. So what would
we
you
can
say
discuss
is a
about
leading point that
our
they could start with?
experiment we're doing in UpStack, especially in the community slash marketing discussions of the team. We're having the FICA meeting. I'm a big fan of Nordic history and culture, so that's why we have FICA meeting. FICA means discussion, relaxation, a moment to catch up. Usually the Nordic countries, fika is happening over a cinnamon bun with coffee or tea. It's a way to connect and not discuss work. So we have this weekly meeting for half an hour. Sometimes they can go longer, where everyone is not discussing work. This is the first rule. The second rule is that is a safe space. So what like in Fight Club, what is happening? Fika meeting stays in Fika meeting. Having this kind of digital safe spaces can help you move forward and trying to understand how to see possible problems or to get that qualitative information about your team and about the feelings and the project. Having clear expectation from every meeting is helpful than having, let's say, 1 hour team meetings weekly or monthly when you discuss work, you discuss blockers, you discuss personal stuff. No, make the make a clear line between them. What is personal, what is and doesn't have. I mean, when I'm saying personal, doesn't mean you start discussing about your I don't know experiences in all very deep level. You're discussing at the level you feel comfortable with. Maybe in 1 day or 1 week you don't feel like sharing, but others are feeling like sharing. So from getting information or discussing stuff like movies, recipes, or experiences, personal experiences, to more in-depth information or sharing, everything can happen in this kind of. But you need to be clear from the start that that is a safe space and keep your word about it. I mean, not sharing disagreements or frustration with about other team members or about a process. If you find something like this kind of frustration arise in a FICA meeting, try to address it in another call. Try to understand why it's happening and see how you can improve on that, because that's why you have processes and tools to improve on them. Nothing is set in stone. You need to continuously improve as a company, as a process, in the end, as a person.
Awesome. I definitely agree with that as well. And one last question is, I know no company wants to kind of make the mistake that some companies have done over the pandemic of like mass layoffs over Zoom, which has just not only like a PR nightmare, but such like, like so harsh to people's employees and just like seen as so heartless in a way. Like no one wants to repeat that mistake. So for, let's say, like a new engineering manager who has maybe never had to lay off anyone before in their career and is now in that leadership position, how would you say is the best way that someone, if they have to face laying another person off, doing it in the most empathetic way possible? Like, is that possible? Or like, what is
This is
the
a
nicest or
topic that
easiest approach?
everyone has a big problem with it in either side of the conversation, and that can be hard for everyone. The first one would be, remember what we discussed 2 or 3 slides ago. Be personal, be authentic. Try to understand why you're doing that layoff. It is a market or industry related layoff, or it's a performance related layoff. Offer context. Make it on in a remote setting, make it over a video, understand it, discuss, offer feedback, and depending on the company, you should have some kind of layoff package, extra money, different kind of plans or different kind of packages. So offer feedback, offer, be there, try to understand it, not just hide over under the, let's say, the stories, and be there for that person, because in the end, everyone, we experience that at least one time in our lifetime.
Yeah, I agree. And that was all the questions I had for you today, Daniel. But again, thank you so much. This was a very informative session, and I think will help a lot of people, because a lot of leaders forget how important it is to be authentic and vulnerable, and how having a really deep emotional connection with your team is one of the ways you can be the strongest leaders you can be. So thank you again for today. And I'll be posting this on YouTube for everyone who wants to watch the UpStack YouTube channel. Yeah, thank you again. Have a great day.